Gamers, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the new Odion deck, and the one I've been using is Primite Odion, and I don't think this is the best version, but this is the one I've been using, so I figured I'll just make a deck profile on it. I want to make some videos, and this is the one I've been playing first. Next is probably going to be Draco Tail, and I do intend on covering Archmage as well. But starting here with Odion Primite, this is a deck that I've adapted to Master Duel. It topped in a YCS recently, but the thing is, we don't have Baguska, and that makes it significantly worse, honestly. So it is kind of just Primite control using some of the new Odion cards, and that build from YCS was only running one Man with the Mark, because your best normal summon usually was really Barrel, and so you'd like normal Barrel. You'd have Terraforming to search your field spells. You had more copies of the field spell to set up some of the Odion traps to get into that grind game. And so we don't have Terraforming. We have less pots, like it was running, I think, 2 Extrav and 1 Prosperity. We don't even have Prosperity, and we only have 1 Extrav. So there's a lot of things making that same deck a lot weaker in Master Duel. Now, is it bad per se? I'd say no. I mean, I did get through all of Platinum, so from the start of Platinum to Diamond with Odion, and it was pretty easy up until that last tier of Platinum, which is when I was really starting to struggle a bit more. There's just a lot of the time when you just kind of pass on pretty middling boards with this deck. Sometimes you're kind of forced to normal summon the Man with the Mark. A lot of the time, your ideal scenario really is that you have Field Spell and you have Barrel, or Field Spell and Lordly Load and Man, something like that. But overall, deck is pretty cool. Made some changes over time, ended up landing on this list. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a bit of the play style, if you're interested. I think this is still like a rogue pick, probably. It's not bad per se, just lacking a couple of options to really make it better. So without further ado, let's check out some replays. Now, I don't know how many replays I really want to do for this video. I might just do a straight up duel, just because a lot of this deck is more so control based. It's more about the mindset. But this hand here is like a pretty nice, decent setup. If you get like Lordly Load, they go for 5 mana here, playing against Draco Tail. And they're going to get a fusion here. They're going to go for Arthalion. And we get to search Drill Beam. They're going to go for 5 mana, activate Arthalion. Now, of course, I had Barrel in hand, so I can just reveal Barrel and banish the Arthalion, negate it, Arthalion, whatever. I'm not exactly sure how we pronounce it yet. They're going to droll for no reason. That's fine. We're going to set Imperm, go Barrel, set another Drill Beam from the deck, set Apophis, set our other Drill Beam from the grave, summon a normal from the deck, go into Omega, and then we're just going to pass the turn. Now, the reason I can go into Omega here is because Apophis in the back row is a normal monster, so that means that you can use your Apophis traps as the normal on field for the Primite Drill Beam. So that's really good. We're going to go for Apophis early here. They're going to go for Draco Tail Flame, and we're going to go for Ash here. I'm guessing the reason they went for this was for the draw, because they did kind of lose a lot of resources since I negated their Arthalion. They didn't get to add back their 5 mana, which is quite important. So I am just going to Ash their trap card there. They're going to go for Rahu Draco Tail. I'm going to negate and banish it. Then I go for Omega to try to remove a monster from their hand, to just put them on really low resource, and we win the game right there. Not a like phenomenal replay, but it is like kind of showing you like you absolutely can beat the best deck in the game right now, Draco Tail, with this build. It's just that there's some things that make it a bit awkward. I think what I'm going to do, which I don't do very often anymore in deck profiles, is we're actually going to go do a duel, and whether I go first or second, at least I'll get to show the deck in action, whether I win or lose too, because this deck is by no means invincible or anything. I lost quite a few duels. At first it was really good win rate, but if we just look at it right now, I'm pretty sure the win rate is nothing too crazy. Let me go take a look. Yeah, so the furthest back I have right now is like Platinum 3. So I was like getting a lot of wins consistently. A lot of it was looking like this up until the top there, like win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. And then like once I got into Platinum 1, I got on a bit of a loss streak here, 3 losses in a row. So nothing too crazy. Then finally got my 4 wins in a row and got to Diamond. So the win rate, nothing too insane, and it kind of reflects that I think the deck is just kind of rogue right now. But yeah, like I said, we'll jump into a duel. So let's see here. Okay, this is solid. I guess I might as well shift her early. Protects us from like Veiler or things of that nature. This is not the best hand ever. I won't be able to get an extra body to be able to make Lambda to play around, to be able to use Delta on opponent's turn. So really with this here, they're under, you know, they're under shifter. We get to search. Yeah, we can like search Anubis for later, I suppose. It's not horrible. So we're going to have access to like one Omni. Our board's going to be indestructible unless they can negate man. We have Imperm. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, so I think we probably do want to shotgun Apophis early. Like, just the way it is, because we don't have a ton of interruption, I feel like just having access to one Omni negate when we need it is probably good. Probably want to be able to get that pretty early, but this is not a great situation to be in right now. Into 6 cards, we have like 3 interruptions. Shifter could do a lot though. Oh my god, okay, so Shifter does kind of win, thankfully. Honestly, if they chose to fuse here, I would just let them. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you fuse, because you're banishing your materials. Our things won't get destroyed by card effects. We can negate whatever you summon. Like, this is pretty ideal for me. Yeah, if I was him, I would have just passed on Mululu, honestly. Although I guess into negates and stuff, that doesn't really work. Yeah, so like, it doesn't really matter what he targets because we're just going to negate it. I'm going to go for the Swamp Deity here. I guess I could have kept Swamp Deity and just negated with Imperm in case he has a spell. Yeah, I should have probably held on and just used my Imperm there. That was arguably a misplay. Okay. Battle is whatever. We're protected. We're going to take 2100 damage. But nothing's going to get destroyed because of Man with the Mark. Okay, he didn't even read Man with the Mark. This is what Diamond Tier Dracotel players do? Yeah, okay, so 100 damage, very cool. I'm not too mad here. At least I still have Imperm to negate Mululu if they want to go for another fusion on my turn. Delta is dead in hand, so bad draw, I suppose. We can contact fuse with our 2 traps here, go into the Divine Serpent Apophis. So that's really good. Make Divine Serpent. We can use its effect to set these 2 cards back onto the field. We can use Anubis to add to hand the Man with the Mark. We can summon Man with the Mark yet again. This time I can search Temple. Since I have it in the deck, Temple is going to allow me to activate traps that I have set this turn, which is going to give us a lot here, actually. That's why I started running Temple. I noticed in the grind game it was a lot better than the counter trap, in my opinion. So here, for example, I could go Apophis, since I have my trap, right? Summon Apophis. I'm going to get to set again. So we get to set our second Swamp Deity from the deck, and we're also going to get our Divine Serpent effect here. So Divine Serpent gets to pop the Arthlion. Okay, very good. And we could also summon this Apophis this turn if we want to. I'm not sure that I do. I probably want to just hang on to my negates for the next turn. Lambda being on field would be really good. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to go to battle. I'm going to beat over this. I think I'm going to keep the Apophis on the field. And we're just going to like hard summon Lambda just to be able to use these deltas in hand. Like, we're in a pretty damn good position here. So, you know, use our 2 mans. We can just make... well, actually, no. I probably want to use Apophis here. Well, no, it's fine. I don't even think we need the protection with the 2 Omnis. Like this is going to be an Omni negate, and then this is going to be like a double Omni negate. And we're going to get a spell negate here. I forgot he comes back. That's kind of annoying. But it's okay. We can always just get rid of him again when we summon Apophis. Not really a huge deal. I'm just going to go to end phase here. I'm feeling like in a pretty damn good position actually right now. All things considered. Yo, honestly, if we had Dugares, we could have just lethaled. Okay, so Rahu. I think the spell negate is probably good to use here. Oh, it's Max C. I'll actually just Ash Max C. I don't really want to give you draws, and we have a lot of things that summon to give us our negates. Like Apophis would give them draws as well, so yeah, ashing Maxi is probably quite good here. Delta, the problem here is like Delta negates the activation, So if they get another Rahu, they can actually use it again this turn, because this only says you can only activate it once per turn, kind of like Branded Fusion. So that's really annoying. Oh boy. I mean, I guess I just let you search with Thrust. Yeah, it's Talents. Talents. I think they have to draw with Talents, probably. Let's see what they do. Yeah, I had a feeling. Well, that kind of inspires confidence, since they have to draw. I feel like we're pretty safe here to summon Apophis. We're going to negate Talents, pop their Fusion. Yeah, so we're negating that. And then our Fusion is going to trigger. We get to pop their Arthalion. And we should be in a winning position here, I think. Like, well, I mean, they could have a crazy card, but yeah. Okay. Honestly, as good of a showcase as I could hope for. Not every game is going to go like this, but at least for the Odion side of the deck, this is a really good showcase. Didn't really get to do much drill beam controlling there, but honestly, that's totally fine. You already know how Primite cards work most likely, so I think we can just leave it at that for the showcase. I don't want to make a crazy long deck profile for this because honestly, I don't think the deck is good enough to warrant a crazy in-depth deck profile, but I did kind of want to throw it out there because, you know, if you have Primite cards and you wanted to try Odion, this is like a, you know, not a crazy expensive way to do it. You can go with just one Divine Serpent Apophis. You don't actually need two, and same for Man with the Mark. You can run just one. You don't need two. You can even run 2 copies of Anubis. This card is just, you discard it, search man. Originally they were just running 1 in this, but I feel like because we don't have terraforming, because we have less pots and stuff like that, like, you're really going to want a couple more copies of Man, which is why I'm running 2 plus Anubis, just to make sure that if I don't see the Primite stuff, I at least have access to the Odion side of the deck. But anyway, we're going to get into the card by card here. We have 1 copy of Angel Trumpeteer. This is usually your summon off of Lordly Load. You have 1 copy of Psyframe Driver, double Maxi, 1 Frame Gear Gamma, double Frame Gear Delta, triple Ash Blossom, double Ghost Bell. If I had a 3rd Ghost Bell, I'd probably run it because both Ash and Ghost Bell can negate every single trap in Draco Tail, and that's very, very valuable because it's a lot of their interruption on your turn. Then we have 3 copies of Beryl, 2 copies of Man with the Mark, aka Odion, pretty sick card. 1 copy of Shifter, because why not? 1 copy of Anubis, 1 pot of Extrav, triple Treasures of the King, 1 Temple of the Kings, triple Primite Lordly Load, 1 Called by the Grave, double Primite Drill Beam, 2 Imperm, triple Dominus Purge, double Song of the Dominators. I don't really like this card at 3. I like it more at 2, I would say. I feel like being able to search Dominus Purge is good, but I don't even want to run Impulse in this deck, honestly, just because Impulse just negates so much of our deck. So, yeah, as it stands, I feel like I'd rather draw this, but this is good too. And if I'm lucky and I have like Imperm plus this, then I can go like Imperm, then activate Song of the Dominators, search, purge, and that's really, really good. 2 copies of Swamp Deity and 1 copy of Apophis the Serpent. And extra, we have 2 Divine Serpent Apophis, 1 Stardust Dragon for the Axel Synchro Stardust line in case it comes up. Also, you can make Axel Synchro Stardust using Trumpeteer, which doesn't come up all the time, but you know, if you already have like a Delta or a Gamma in the grave, you can do that. So just because there's a lot of free space in this extra, I decided to run it. Doesn't come up very often, though, I'll be real. We have Omega. We have, of course, Baron de Fleur for when it comes up. 1 copy of Redoer. Redoer is cool. You can make it with the Serpent, and that's a trap that's equipped to it, so you get a bounce off of your Redoer. It's also a Psychic that you can banish under Lambda, because it banishes itself, right? So then you get the Lambda effect at the end phase to search one of these. So if you can land Lambda plus a Redoer on the same turn, that's really good. You have Zeus. You have the Typhon. 2 copies of Link Spider. 1 copy of Lambda, 2 copies of SP, and our Silhouette Rabbit. That's the deck. That's the deck profile. Again, nothing too in-depth. I like this deck. I thought it was a ton of fun to play, but I don't think it's quite up to snuff. Sometimes the boards you set up can be quite middling if you don't get access to both engines, and also going second, it can be rough into all the interruption and recursion that's being set up by Dracotel right now. So I think it's fine. It's cool. It's neat. And if you want an idea to play, you know, you can try this and let me know what you think. But that's going to be it for this video. And yeah, see ya.